Well, of course, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, recently coming out and pledging to tackle extremism in this country. But when you analyse what he has achieved, or rather hasn't achieved, when it comes to stopping the boats, one of his key pledges, it's easy to see why voters are losing confidence at a pretty rapid rate now in his ability as Prime Minister and in this government. As others like Christian Calgie are pointing out, it was back in November that the Prime Minister actually vowed so-called emergency legislation to stop the boats. And it is now nearly 4 months later with the legislation not passing. Not much of an emergency then, apparently. But you have seen the boats continue to cross. You have seen hundreds and hundreds more people crossing from France to England. Patrick O'Flynn highlighting, on a single day, around 400 people again, the biggest number on a single day this year. And he describes this all as unbelievable Tory complacency. Matt Dathan there recording actually the fact that yesterday it was a record number. It was just over 400 people on 7 boats. And that means we're looking at around 3,000 people that have crossed in 2024 so far, roughly the same number that had crossed by this time in 2023 last year. And the really sad thing with all of this is that all Rishi Sunak really had to do was listen to the person that was his then Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, who of course said, and had been saying for a while, in fact she said it during her leadership campaign for Conservative leader, that we need to leave the ECHR, but we haven't. No flights to Rwanda, the boats not being stopped, the rate similar to what we saw last year. And that is why you're seeing voters increasingly annoyed, switching to Reform UK. Richard Tice there, the Reform leader, saying Sunak not stopping the boats, Starmer will not stop the boats, that only Reform would, by leaving the ECHR, picking up and taking people back. And you see this, of course, reflected in the national polls, where the latest Redfield and Wilton, for instance, you see Reform on 13. And this was interesting as well. The highest percentage with Redfield and Wilton of 2019 Tory voters to say they'd vote Reform UK that they've ever recorded, up to 21%. So voters send in there, I think, a very clear message. And if the boats aren't stopped, then it looks pretty unlikely that Rishi Sunak is going to deliver on that pledge. Then expect support for Reform to continue to rise. But let me know what you make of all of that in the comments below, guys. I will, of course, keep bringing you all the latest on this and more. So please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.